Hello and welcome to the It's Your Effin' Journey podcast. My name is Melissa Hemming, and if a life coach and a therapist had a baby, you get me. I am coming to you today from a listener request, or should I say a social media request, but I'm sure it's somebody who listens to the podcast because I don't know why else they'd ask me to talk about it. But someone requested that I do an episode about motivation, and I like to deliver. So if you ever have a request or something that you want to talk to me about, or you want to hear me talk about, shoot me a message, tell me on social, and I'm happy to do that. Motivation is an interesting one, and I don't know if you'll like the response, but I'm going to do my best. I wanted to share. So Fitmas is off to a great start this month. It is doing its job of bringing me joy and driving me a little bit crazy at the same time. It's just the happiest, most energetic group. And it just, I've said it before, I'll say it again. It is choosing joy when it's so easy to get overwhelmed this month. And I was reading an article the other day about, this month of December and how easy it is to get into that habit, or you may have built this habit for so many years of just providing to others during this month and putting yourself on the back burner. And I want you to not do that. You're going to hear this episode, what is it? Today's December 4th. You're going to hear this December 8th. And if you are already in this, I want you to pause. I want you to, you may have committed to a million things already. I want you to see if there's something in your schedule that you can say no to. You don't have to say yes to everything. And I want you to protect your energy this month the most that you can. I know for me, it looked like it was a pretty quiet month and things are continuously being added to it. And I have to check myself and say, do I have enough time for downtime? I love curling up on the couch with the dogs, watching Christmas movies with the kids if they'll watch with me. And I need to make sure that I have enough time in my schedule to do that. I don't want to run myself ragged. I don't want to give only to others. I need to give to myself too, to my family, to my dogs. And so make sure that you're doing that. Protect your peace. Say no. If there's something you generally don't want to do, don't do it. Don't do it. If it's not a fuck yes, if it's not 100% I'm there because I love this person, I love this event, I love doing X, Y, and Z, then say no. It's a fuck no. I was really proud of myself. Yes. I've gotten better about doing this, but yesterday, for instance, I looked at the music bingo calendar. Like, my friends who do music bingo are now in multiple places, multiple times a week. So what I try to do is when the week is coming up, I say, this is what I'm committing to. And I tell my friends who I usually meet at music bingo, this is where I'll be there. This is when I won't be there. And I said to myself, I don't want to be at 9 holiday music bingos because there's only so much Christmas music that you want to listen to. And I said, these are the dates that I'm going to be there. And some of my friends were going last night, and I still said, no, I'm not doing that. It's not a fuck yes for me because it's Christmas music, and I'm already committing to Christmas music on this date and this date. So even the things that are joyful, music bingo always brings me joy, but I also don't want to be at music bingo every night of the week, right? Like, I want to diversify. Tonight, I'm so excited. It is the full moon today, and I found a full moon goat hike. So I'm going to go hike with some goats on the full moon today, and I'm so excited. So I can't wait to share that on social and with you all. So without further ado, let's do this. What time is it? Podcast time. It's a celebration. What time is it? Podcast time. I can't believe this. I was thinking about this in the shower yesterday, that this podcast is almost, wait, is it 3? This is season 3. I think this is season 3, which is just freaking wild that this has existed that long and that I'm still doing this and still, so joyful about it. And I also was thinking it might be time to start setting some boundaries around my podcast in terms of, taking time off occasionally, like vacation from the podcast, because it is a lot. It's a lot, even when I'm vacationing, I'm making sure that I have podcasts, created for when I'm away and stuff. So I think that, this next year you'll see more of that from me, where I am, maybe taking a break in December to, recalibrate and bring the energy back for that would be season 5. I love that I have, started doing all these interviews, and, that's super exciting to me. And I want to, I have more ideas for next year on the content that I want to bring to the podcast and the energy behind it. So that was just a little side note, but let's talk about, let's do the housekeeping stuff first, which I probably shouldn't have sung the song until that was done. But I just want to talk about the offerings that I have right now. Is the club. The club is continuing to be just a safe space for me and the participants in it to take care of your mental health, to say yes to journaling, to say yes to meditation, to just checking in with yourself and making sure that you are caring for yourself. We do weekly journal prompts I post in there. Today I did a whole thing about the full moon, and and we do a monthly group coaching call. And that, to me, I love that call because it's time for me to pour into myself very intentionally, and the same thing with the participants. And it's nice to have that accountability and that safe space where we can share what's going on with us and support each other and have that time to take care of ourselves. Last month, we talked about doing a vision board activity for this month, and that's what we're going to do for December. So if you are looking for just a really low level, chill way to take care of yourself and be connected with a group of women who are also doing that, the club is the place for you. It's $19 a month to join, and I'd love to see you in there. You can check it out for a month, see if it's for you. But I'm loving it so much, and I love having that accountability in there. Also, I'm doing one-on-one sessions. So one-on-one sessions are sold in packets or options of three sessions or 6 sessions. And I have 3 openings for December, but 2 of them are taken. So I have one more availability or spot for December. And then in January, I will have 5 spots. So I'd love to work with you. I was just thinking about this client the other day. She left me a really sweet review on Talkspace. She had a 6-session thing from her work. Maybe it was like an EAP. I'm not really sure. But she had 3 sessions, and she worked with me about the decision to have a baby. And that, society has this pressure of having a baby, and she really wanted to dissect that and figure out for herself if that was a choice that she wanted to make or if it was society making it for her. And we really honed in on that. And when I think about the 6 sessions, I think about her because that's exactly how I want it to look. She came in, we probably met every other week, if not every 3 weeks. She journaled like a fucking rock star. Any prompt that I sent her, because all the prompts do is to really help you decipher what's going on in your brain to make an educated decision on whatever it is that you are trying to make a decision about or trying to work through or trying to, get clarity on. And, she worked hard on the outside. When we weren't in session, we really dived into whatever she uncovered through her journal prompts in sessions. And she came away with a clear decision for her that having a baby was not for her. And that's what the 6-session magic is. The 3 sessions is great too. It's a great intro, great starter piece. But if there's really something that you're trying to work yourself through or get clarity on or make a decision about, that 6th session is such a sweet spot. And now she's able to go on with her life and have me as a resource if she needs it in the future. But I'm really excited to work with people who are willing to, do the hard work. That's what it comes down to, is doing the hard work. And that's what fires me up. So if you're interested in a one-on-one session or you want to level up in 2026, I get fired up about, boundaries and helping people learn how to push the noise away to figure out the right path for themselves. That's my sweet spot. So if that speaks to you, reach out to me and let's talk. Okay, let's do it. Motivation. I have heard this one for so long. I'm just not motivated, Melissa. I'm just not motivated, Melissa. And I get it. But motivation is a crock of fucking shit. And I know a lot of you are not going to want to hear that, but it's true. It's really, really true. And what I sort of do when I'm goal setting, I don't ever, like, motivation doesn't ever really leave my mouth because I'm often not motivated. I don't want to run when I have running in my plan. I often don't want to work out when I have it in my plan. I'm not motivated to do a lot of things. And I know you're probably listening and being like, I don't think that's true, or that's not what I see. I see a motivated person. And that's why I want to tell you that motivation is a crock of shit, because I'm not motivated. What gets me from point A to point B is my determination, is my dedication, is my commitment to the goal that I've set for myself. So when it comes to daily workouts, I now know, because I've built this habit of working out. I know what it feels like when I finish my workout. I know that feeling of satisfaction, that feeling that when you've pushed your muscles and pushed your body and moved your body. I love that feeling. I also love the accountability. I have accountability on Zoom. Every single day I wake up, I log onto Zoom, I see my friends who are working out, they're journaling, they're doing their personal development reading. They are committed to their growth. That accountability helps me to follow through on that goal for myself. So let's actually back up though, because I want to talk about goal setting. When it comes to motivation, if you will, or goal setting, because that's what I rely upon is goal setting. When you think about something that you want to do, let's talk about a marathon, because that's like my jam. Do you want to run a marathon? You know, I had a goal. I started running a 5K, then I ran a 10K, then I ran a half. And then I said, I really want to run a marathon before my 35th birthday. When you have a bug that comes up like that, like, or an idea or a goal that comes up, you have to then say to yourself, what steps do I have to take to accomplish said goal? So marathon, you have to follow, or you are then presented, you have a 16-week training plan that you are going to follow so that you can accomplish that goal of running a marathon. Are you willing to do it? Are you willing to do the runs that make up that training plan to get you to the marathon? I was willing to do that. I was willing to set aside the time to prioritize these runs in order to have the best case scenario on race day and know that I could toe that start line and say, okay, I did the work. I did what the experts say to do. I'm going to accomplish this marathon. Sometimes I watch Ironman videos. Sometimes I watch half Ironman videos. I'm very inspired by triathletes. Is that what you call them? Triathletes. When it comes down, so sometimes I'll say, oh, maybe I should do that. Maybe I could be a half Ironman. And then I say, I would have to commit to a training plan that includes running, swimming, and biking. Am I interested in doing that? Do I want to take those steps to become a half Ironman? Absolutely fucking not. There is not one piece of me. Now, what also helped me to make that decision is that I did do a triathlon once. I did try, if you will. And I hated it. I hated it. It just wasn't for me. I love running. I don't love swimming. I like paddling in my pool. I like, do I like biking? I don't even think I really like biking. I love running. So am I willing to take the steps to complete the half Ironman? I'm not. So I'm zero. I'm like negative 0% motivated to accomplish that goal because it just doesn't intrigue me. Not in the way that a marathon training plan does. So yes, I can commit to that. Is it going to be perfect? Absolutely not. But I'm committing to making it work and seeing myself through so that I can feel my best come race day. So I think that part of it is like you have to actually look at what it takes to become that person that accomplishes that goal. And that's where the motivation comes from. If you're so I'm running the Tokyo Marathon in March, and what is exciting me when I go out I don't run every day, I run 4 days a week, but when I go out to run my runs or run my long runs, I have a 14-mile run tomorrow. Do I want to? No, I absolutely don't want to run 14 miles. Who wants to do that? Like, I'm doing it either on the treadmill and I'm at the gym and it's long and it's annoying and it's hard. I don't want to do that. I'm not motivated to do that. But I also know that that is giving me confidence so that I know that when I get to Tokyo and I start on that start line, I'm giving myself the best course of action to succeed at accomplishing that goal. Are you going to miss runs? Of course. That's not the point. The point is that every single time I choose myself, I choose that action that leads me to the goal of running the marathon, I'm gaining confidence. I'm gaining strength. I'm gaining endurance. And I'm also telling myself and showing myself that I can show up for myself, because it doesn't matter to anyone else if I don't run my runs. It only matters to me. It only matters to my goals. And guess what? If Tokyo Marathon is the one world major that there is a time limit on, I think it's a hard 6 hours. I should probably know. I've run enough marathons that I know that I can do that, but I also know how hard marathons are. I also know that you don't know what's going to happen race day. You don't know what the weather's going to be like. You don't know how you're going to feel. You don't know how it's going to feel being in a fucking country across the world. So I'm going to do everything that I can so that I have enough confidence that race day that I will finish that race. I want to get my 5th star. That would be really fucking shitty to get all the way to Tokyo and not get my 5th star. Like, that's not going to happen. So how do I make that not happen? Is not motivation. It's commitment to my goal. So I was thinking about this too in a couple, in other different ways. Like, even when it comes to my separation from my husband, I am not motivated to file for divorce. That is like not, and I have this conversation with my ex often. If you would like to file for divorce, go ahead. I will support you. I will respond. I will be engaged in the process. I am not motivated to go file for divorce. It's not something that I need in order to be single and move forward and do my thing. If it's something that you need, then you need to take that step to do that. You may be motivated to do that. I, however, am not. So I think when it comes to things, so if we're talking about like getting started working out, why do you want that? Why? And like, go, I know if Brooke Harris hears this, she's going to laugh, because one time we went to this like training thing at Summit, which was like our Beachbody conference. And I had like a journal and I wrote like in capital letters, why? And I don't really know why I did that. But when you're thinking about if wanting to do something, wanting to start workouts, wanting to start running, wanting to open a business, why do you want it? And go deep, go deeper, go 5 times. Why? I want to work out because I'll use the weight, because I know a lot of people are motivated by weight loss. I want to lose 5 pounds, or let's say 10 pounds. I want to lose 10 pounds. Why? Because I want to fit in or want to wear a bathing suit in the summer. I'm going really superficial here. Okay, why do you want to wear a bathing suit in the summer? So that I can show so that I can show my daughters that I am wearing a bathing suit and they should feel good about their bodies too. Why? Because it's important that I instill self-confidence in my kids. Why? Because I care about how I'm showing up as a mom, and I care about my kids' mental health and my mental health. Like, that's just an example of like, go deep, go deep, go deep, because these things, the reasons that you're doing it may start superficial. 10 pounds to me is superficial. 10 pounds is like your enjoyment. That's like your fucking chocolate lava cake at music bingo. And that's like your, late night pizza after the bar with your friends. Like, it's just whatever. So that to me is a superficial reason, right? But when you go deeper, it's because the person in my pretend world wants to be a good mom, and wants to instill self-confidence in her daughters. That is so much more meaningful than losing 10 pounds. So when you're thinking about whatever goal it is that you have, go deep, go push yourself harder. Why? Why do you want this? And when you connect to that really, and I know like your why is this cliche thing now, but when you connect to that deeper why, that will motivate you to move forward. Like, why do you want to run the 6 world majors, Melissa? Why do you want to do that? My deeper reason is, and it started out like, I like the world majors, right? Like, I like the energy of the courses. I like the energy of the crowds. I like big marathons that are exciting and like that energy. But really, why? Why do you want to do that? And then when I connected it to women's growth in running, and the fact that, I had a date last night. I told the date, he didn't know that women only were allowed to run marathons starting in 1972. When I connected it to the fact that under 10,000 of the people who have completed the world major marathons are women, I wanted to be a part of that number. I wanted to be a part of that number to show other women that it's possible, to show my girls that it's possible, and to be part of something that is more meaningful to me than just running an exciting course. I want to be one of those women who have done that, because it's a big deal to me to not only be running marathons, but running them around the fucking world. Like, the fact that running marathons has now taken me to London and France, and it's taking me to Tokyo, and it's taking me to Berlin next fall. Like, that blows my fucking mind. So the why of me wanting to accomplish this is much more than just, I want to complete a marathon, because that's who I've grown into being. So I think when we talk about this thing about motivation, it's just this, for me, this desire to be my best self, for me to show up in a way that feels good for me. When I was thinking about running, so I had like an awkward period of time after I finished London, before Tokyo training was starting. I don't even know when it started. 6 weeks ago, the end of October. So from let's say May to October, I didn't really have a plan I was following, because I was in this off season, if you will, because I'm a fucking professional. And I'm totally kidding, by the way. But so from May to October, I was making sure that I did a half marathon every month just to keep my mileage up, but I wasn't necessarily training. And what I have found in this last 11 years of running is that my mental health is significantly better when I run. It is significantly better when I run. However, I'm not motivated to run those miles unless I'm training. And I would catch myself in this time after time, every single fucking week. I'd be like, I should go run. I would do the run. I would feel fucking amazing. My energy would be off the charts. My confidence would be off the charts. I would feel so fucking good. But I wasn't motivated to do it. I didn't have to do it, if you will. So oftentimes I'd put it aside, and I would find myself more in the doldrums. So what does that tell me? It's nothing to do with meditation. It's nothing to do with motivation. It's everything to do with remembering why it matters. And to me, my workouts and my runs, it's all connected to my mental health. I feel so fucking good about, and it's not even, I say mental health, I realized the other day, it's also so connected to how I feel about my body. I feel so fucking good about my body. And it's not about the size or whatever. And this is why I try. And, I know some people are like, put some fucking clothes on when I talk in my stories. But honestly, like, I don't want you just to see me with my flexed muscles and looking all fit. I want you to see what I look like in the normal, because I feel like people don't show enough about the rolls, the skin. I had someone reach out to me once. She was like, I fucking love that in your story, you were wearing pajama pants and you like had to flap them over your loose skin, because I have loose skin. And I was like, wow, like that's really cool that she noticed that. And it made her feel good about her body. I want you to see my skin. I want you to see my stretch marks. I want you to see my imperfect body, because even though I feel really good about my body and I feel really confident about my body, it's still not perfect. It's never going to be perfect, just like your fucking training plan. So, I think that I don't even know how I got off topic there, but yeah, so the workouts and the runs. So the workouts and the runs, I mean, I'll sit here in my desk when I do my morning routine, and I know that I have to go do my workout before I take the kids to school. I don't want to do it, but I've got the accountability, right? I've got the accountability on the screen of my friends who are also working out. I have that feeling of I feel fucking good in my skin because of my workout. I know that I'm targeting not just my mental health and how I feel, but also how I feel about my body. I'm also taking care of my health. There are so many women that send me reels about perimenopause. And I may be on the lower end or the early stages of perimenopause. I'm not doubting that for a second. However, I will never play into the narrative of, well, perimenopause, wah, wah, wah. I'm doing what I need to do for my physical health so that I am not in that perimenopause, like blah, 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 blah. I don't want to suffer the symptoms that these women are experiencing, that women do experience through perimenopause and menopause. I am building these skills and these habits now. That motivates me so that I don't have to deal with those symptoms later. So the workout and it's the accountability, and then it's the feeling. So it's not motivation. If you like, what are you motivated? I was thinking about this in the shower when I knew that I was going to do this episode on motivation. What are you motivated to do? I'm definitely motivated usually to go to music bingo. I'm definitely motivated to travel. Like that's a huge thing that I'm motivated to do. I like to sit on the couch. Like I said, I like to sit on the couch, watch movies, cuddle with Betty. But like when it comes to the things that you might see me doing all the time on social media or on my podcast, I'm not particularly motivated to do them. So if you're waiting for motivation, you've got to just say, fuck it. Where is the why? What is the reason? And am I willing to do what it takes to get there? That's it. Mic drop. How do you feel? Now you got to go do your shit. I mean, and I love if anyone tuned into this and was like, I can't wait to crack the case. Like, you're going to be annoyed. I know it. I know you're going to be annoyed. People are always annoyed when I tell them to fuck motivation because they want a different answer. They want a different story. They don't want to have to rely on their own determination or their own willpower. But that's what it comes down to. Why do you want it? And why is it important to you? And if you're not doing whatever it is that's important to you, you haven't cracked the egg. The case. You haven't cracked the code. But figure out why it is and then do the fucking work. Do the work, because doing the work, I was also talking about this with a client the other day, is communication. And this is sort of similar to what I'm talking about. Not really, but kind of. We were talking about how sometimes it's, even if you know that the person that you need to communicate something to or with is unwilling or unable or lacks the skills that they're able to do that communication. We were talking about how sometimes it's still really important to have the communication, even if it's going to go nowhere, because what does that do for you? It gives you more confidence to have hard conversations, and it just helps you flex that muscle even more. It's sort of like, it gives you that confidence. It's like an interview. It's like practice having hard conversations, practice using your I statements, practice sharing how you're feeling with someone when it's hard. And so even if the conversation doesn't get you anywhere, you are going to feel more confident because you had that conversation. That's sort of like what doing the work is. When you say, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to go, like, after this, I'm fucking starving. I'm going to go make some egg cups and avocado. I am motivated. Well, I am motivated. I'm always motivated to eat. I'm not going to lie. But when you do the work, let's talk about marathon training again. When I do the work and I show up, I feel like a baller. I feel like a badass. I fucking love that feeling. I add, for my own accountability, I do a reel every week for Instagram. It's for Instagram. It's really for me. It's for fucking me. Half the shit I do is for me so that I can keep myself going. But that's why I love social media, because it's given me the greatest accountability tool. Every single week I make a reel and I show the mileage of that week. Win, lose, or draw. Shitty, imperfect, not great, whatever the case may be. I'm showing that on social media. So guess what? I'm not a perfectionist. I'm a recovering perfectionist. That's why my Instagram handle is, the name is Imperfectly Perfect. But I want to show that I'm succeeding at this plan. I want to be able to pat myself on the back. And how do I do that? From doing the fucking work. So doing the work gives you the confidence and makes you feel like a badass. So when you do commit to something, be fucking determined as fuck. Lean on your willpower, lean on your strength, and get the shit done. Just get it done. Get it done, and then you can talk about it. And then you can feel really good about it. And especially when it comes to running, it's giving you that confidence that you can succeed on race day. Because I will tell you, if you follow a training plan, you will improve as a runner. It may not be in speed, but it's in endurance at the very least. And you will feel so much better. I mean, even after I am in I think this is week 6 of my training. I'm pretty sure it's week 6. But in week 6, like, I have watched myself go from dreading a 2-mile run to like the other day, if my watch didn't fucking die, I was like, I'm going to keep going. That's not me as a runner. I don't typically be like, I want to run more miles, but I am feeling myself because I'm gaining that confidence and I'm gaining that endurance and I'm gaining that enjoyment from it. So hope this helped. If it did, send it to a friend, screenshot it, share it in your stories. I love you so much for being here, and I'll see you next week.